Michael Jordan, what do you remember about playing him when you guys were on the floor and he was guarding you and you were guarding him, and I'm sure some terrific shootouts over the years between just the two of you?
You know, looking back over 18 years, you'd have thought that Michael and I, the Bulls and the Pacers, would have played more than once in the playoffs. We only played once, and it was that epic 7-game series. You're measured by your competition. He is clearly, and in my opinion, the best basketball player I've ever seen. And I knew that I had to bring it each and every time I stepped on the court when I was going against MJ.
Were you friends?
No, we weren't friends.
Talk to each other on the floor?
He might have been the one player I didn't talk to.
Really?
Yeah, because he might have been the one player who could really embarrass you.
And he could come back at you pretty good too.
Yeah, he could come right back at you. I wanted what he had, him being the best, the championships. So I watched, I listened, and I tried to learn a lot by playing against him.
And what did you learn? What couple things you took away from what he did or how he played or how he acted?
He is cut from the same mold as Magic Johnson. And when I say that, and Larry Bird, all three of those players, win by any means necessary. And they will do whatever it takes on the court to win a game.
On the court, I remember saying something to him one time. They were down. This is when they were trying to win 73 games. They were trying to get the all-time record. We had them in an afternoon game. Game meant nothing. They were in the playoffs. I was playing with the Pacers. We were in the playoffs. We were up 8 points with about a minute and a half left. And I remember standing at the free throw line, and I looked at him. I said, why don't you go sit down? Game's over. And he looked at me. The next minute, I'm telling you, he played like it was game 7. I'm like, what's wrong with this dude? I mean, he was playing like it was game 7. He did not like the fact that I just said that to him. I said, y'all not getting this record. And all of a sudden, it was a 1-point game. So Larry Brown calls timeout. And we go to the bench. And I think one of my teammates, I don't know, but Antonio Davis, he said, hey, did you say something to MJ? I said, yeah. I said, I told Gabe was over. And Larry Brown heard it. Larry was like, why would you do that?
This when I knew Michael Jordan was crazy. Michael's the most competitive person I've ever been around in my life. So me, him, Chuck Daly, and David Robinson go play golf one morning, playing Puerto Rico that afternoon. Chuck says, hey, guys, we played 18. Let's go. Michael said, I'm going to play another 18. Chuck said, we got a game tonight. He says, I'll be good. That's how crazy Michael is. We get to the game. Charles, you got this guy. Scotty, you got this guy. Michael, you got this guy. Michael said, no, I got the point guard. He says, what? He says, I got the point guard. He says, you don't want to guard the 2 guard? Michael's kind of leaning down. Michael looks and says, I said, I got the point guard. He said some shit about me in the newspaper, and I'm going to get him. And we're looking around like, uh-oh, this little kid in trouble. He played 36 holes of golf, and he's guarding this dude like it's game 7. And he's talking, don't you ever say my damn name again. I'm looking at Karl Malone, I'm like, yo, man, there's something wrong with this dude. That's how competitive he was.
Back in the 90s, when the Bulls were on fire, end of the season for us, end of the season for them, I get a call from Michael, meet me at Sunset Ridge. Early, we're gonna go play 18 holes. We didn't have a game. We actually had a day off. So I meet him at Sunset Ridge. Big old Greg Kunkel, who's one of the best people in golf here in Chicago. I got to mention Greg at Sunset Ridge. We played around, beat him for a couple thousand, and I'm getting ready to leave. Now, Bulls are playing that night. They play Cleveland that night. So I'm thinking he's leaving. It's 10 o'clock. He's like, no, let's go play again. So he goes and we fill up a bag full of ice and Coors Light, and we walk again. we roll around another 18, and I take him for another couple. And yeah, and now we've been drinking all afternoon. Now he's going from Sunset Ridge to the stadium to play a game. And I'm like messing around. I'm like, I'm gonna call my bookie, and all the money that you just lost to me, I'm putting on Cleveland tonight. He goes, I'll tell you what, I'll bet you that we win by 20 points and I have more than 40. I'm like, done. Son of a gun goes out, scores 52, and they win by 26 or something after 18 holes of golf. And
36 holes of golf.
36 holes of golf and having like maybe 10 Bud Lights.
Stop.
The man, Michael Jordan, to me, is probably the best athlete that I've ever seen, that I've ever been around and watched play, and the way he presented himself and played the game. I mean, just amazing.
So, we're winning the game. Right. We're up by 8 points. And one of my teammates, Derek Martin, had been in LA with Mike when he was filming Space Jams. It was the summer before, it was the summer after he filmed Space Jams.
Oh, he has a court built
down for him on the lot.
Here in Los Angeles.
Yes, here in Los Angeles, for him to play basketball.
Right.
He's got every overseas guy playing and everything, so he's like, this is not challenging to me. He calls Magic Johnson, says, hey, you got any guys that play at UCLA? I hear about the UCLA legendary runs. Can you send some of these guys down here? So Magic calls me, says, hey, little fella, can you take a couple guys down there? Can you take a couple guys down there and play against Mike? I said, all right, cool, no problem. So I get Chris Mills, Tracy Murray, Mitchell
former
Butler.
UCLA guys,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
We all grew up together playing since we were 12 and 13. So we go down there and play. We walk in, we're waiting our turn. Finally, it's our turn. We come on, it's 6-6, going to 7. I come down on the break on the wing and go with what we call a hands up move, like I'm gonna shoot the shot. Michael jumps up. I go by and lay it up for a game. I commence to talking the best trash ever against him. I said,
You faked the GOAT.
Yes. Michael, you get out of my town. This is my town.
Wow.
You're not even the real MJ. My man Magic Johnson is the MJ. I'm just going so hard that Chris Mills, 6'8", picks me up and my feet are dangling. And trying to put my
Little fella.
hand over my mouth, and he says, Derek, stop. And I'm like, no, I'm just going in. 2 games later, he comes back on. Their team beat us. So now we fast forward to the season.
Right.
We're playing. So I go by, make a layup, get an N1, get fouled. We go up 9 with about 3 minutes to go.
Mike is 4 for 16 from the field. He's having a really rough night.
Right.
So Derek decides, because there's about 10 minutes to go in the game and we're winning, he decides to say to Michael Jordan, who's having an off night,
Told you we're gonna whoop your ass tonight. Phil Jackson looks down the bench, like, what do you want to do? So Michael ties his shoe up, takes his towel off, walks in, the pitcher right there. He stands next to me and says, little man, I told you about talking trash to me. I said, man, we up 9 with 3 minutes to go. You're not beating me tonight.
24 points in the last 10 minutes.
He went on
Goodness
the next
gracious.
15 points to beat us. And if you watch the video, the last one he made to win.
This is no light. Catches the ball in the post. He does the typical Jordan fadeaway. He knocks down the shot. They go up by 6. He turns to the bench and says, shut up, you little.
He's looking for me. He's like, I told you about talking trash to me.
And the first time, people hear about the story of us playing together, and we never lost. The first time we actually played against each other. Different teams, not one-on-one. And I think our team won. And I saw how mad he was. Like, he was pissed off. And he went and sat in a corner. And he just sat there. Like, he reacted as if he had lost a game 7. And it's a summer dude, almost 40 years old. It's Michael Jordan. The next day, this run starts at 2 o'clock. Because I had to work out. Young players, you got to work out with your team first, and then you can go do what you want. And Grover's blowing up my phone. Yo, where you at? I'm like, bro, it's 1 o'clock. MJ's waiting on you. Where you at? We ain't starting until you get here. So we about to start early. He waited until I got there. From that moment on, we played together, and we never lost. And we played against everybody. Penny Hardaway, Mike Finley, Tim Hardaway, Antoine Walker, Paul Pierce. Everybody came through Chicago. How UCLA is now? Yeah. It was like that. He was the first one I seen having refs and pickup. And then it got to a point through the summer, you got Jay-Z and Beyonce sitting courtside at a pickup run. Bro, just watch him. Like, this is Jordan. We had everybody come through the gym. This is how cold MJ is. I'm giving y'all, I've never said this. One dude, this got word around, you know, MJ, we all hanging out afterwards. One street dude come up there, got a bag of honey. MJ, let's gamble. MJ looked at him. I ain't got a lot of time. Slip a coin for it, heads or tails. Dude looked at that 100. I'm good. He thought he was gonna go back and forth with him. MJ ain't got time for that.
100 racks?
He would wear Jordans that probably still ain't out. Whole different color. Jordan outfit, baggy shorts, have a matching Ferrari outside, have a matching Lambo. He's on something totally different.
What if we could send Michael Jordan back to playing basketball with you in your prime?
Michael Jordan is one of those rare specimens that could have played at any particular time and is a gifted athlete who is using those gifts in basketball incredibly so.
I've been watching. We'll give you a couple talks soon, man. All right. Let's be good. All right. Never met What was going on in that conversation? Well, I just went over to say hello to him, and I was like everybody else. I meant all.
He has been the liaison between something that's not so good and making it great for all the rest.
So when I say the name Michael Jordan, what comes to mind?
Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan.
Well, what?
Like, what else I need to say? We was playing Chicago in Salt Lake. They switched and put John Stockton on it, and he turned around and dunked on Stockton. So some guy got up and almost followed him down the sideline and said, "Hey, Jordan, pick on somebody your own size." Next time down the floor, he dunked on Mel Turpin. And went over and looked at the guy and said, "Was he big enough?"
Listen, Jordan was the greatest in my opinion. And
is he the best to ever play the game?
Oh, yeah. All the shit you see on your poster, like he's doing it in real life. Like, he came by me so fast one time, I was like, oh, shit. Mike, yeah, I was terrified.
You obviously got to play against Michael a lot on the court. What was it about him that made him so special?
Determination, man, to win and be great. You know, you could see it in, I remember back when Mike's first year in pros. He's just a great guy, man. He got the attitude for be a great guy, determination, and the pride, to be great.
That's one of the few guys that I would pay to watch play because he is so talented and so much fun to watch. And if they can get a couple more just good players with him, they'll be championship contenders.
He'll laugh and smile with you, just like he did in shoot around with me. He'll smile, hug, what's up, my boy? Yeah. He trying to soften you up. He gonna kill you. See, then he gonna smile and laugh with you after the game. See, Michael is like that. That's why you almost can't beat him. The only thing I can see that's a weakness to Michael Jordan is the fact that if he shows up and he just don't want to play and then only score 30 instead of 50.
Michael Jordan is not only the best basketball player, but he's the most exciting basketball player to ever play. We only dream about doing things that he can do.
Michael Jordan used to always say that you was his favorite player and you was the one he always looked to. When you used to see him play, did you see the similarities?
Our particular style of play was really rooted in solid fundamental approach to playing the game. And with one exception, when handling the ball, I always would look for daylight, wherever there was daylight. And sometimes, there'd only be a little bit of daylight, like between two players, and find a way to get the ball between there and your body through there.
And the palm in the ball, or, the dunk style and stuff like that. Did you see the similarities of seeing that he was watching you?
I would always see daylight, and maybe I could see daylight that a lot of other players couldn't see. And I see a lot of extraordinary players today, Jordan and Drexler and what have you. They see daylight where other players don't see that.
And it was funny because I remember he came down and he dunked on like our whole team. And then I went down and dunked on his team. And whatever, I was looking at him, he was looking at me. And he was like, I could do it again, I said, all right, well, I only get one shot at it. I made it. So,
right.
But it was fun. And those years when we overlapped, I caught him before he really hit his stride. I always liked him. I always felt that he had a lot of respect. He had a lot of admiration. And, he was going to carry the torch.
Yeah.
And he certainly desired to do it. Did a hell of a job.
The legend of Michael Jordan just get told every single day.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Michael Jordan story being told by somebody on earth right now.
He was the standard. He was what you strive to be as a basketball player.
To, have so many stories and just know what he brought to the game and know how much he changed the game, and then to have him walk in and just to see that in form, it's just like, damn, it's captivating, He's just a polarizing figure. He's built himself up to that point. It's like he's almost 60 years old and we still view him as the best player in basketball, So he went on a historic run that'll never be matched by anybody in the sport.
But to see how he led by example every night was the same. He dominated. And that's just simply the best leadership quality, is to go out there and play the game as hard as you can. Play to win and play at that elite level, and he was at that masterful level of just his skills for the game, his IQ for the game, and his athleticism. It all combined at once and made just a God level player, in my opinion.
I really like Michael Jordan, and he and I are friendly. This guy has done more spectacular things than any basketball player I've ever seen.
I agree.
I mean,
That's Jerry. That is saying a lot.
I agree.
He just stands apart from every player I've ever seen.
That speaks volumes.
the thing that people don't realize is some of the stuff he could do.
I don't think there's any flaw in this guy's game. He's the best defensive player in the league, in my opinion. He's the best competitor in the league, in my opinion. He's by far the best offensive player, in my opinion. He's the best clutch player in the game. He's got the whole package, and his skill level, on top of that enormous physical package, really sets him apart from the other players.
He was the best defensive player in the league.
Yeah.
When he was
yes,
playing,
absolutely.
he was the best offensive player.
Right.
And his athleticism, he was in Carolina, and they were running, I forget, 100 or 40-yard dash.
Mm-hmm.
He ran at some spectacular time.
Wow.
And one of the coaches said something to him differently. And he said, oh, I can do better than that.
Wow.
He went out at 0.2 of a second faster.
Wow.
I love MJ. That's my guy.
How many times he been there? 6.
6.
How many times
I know,
he won?
I know.
6. Like, listen.
I mean, everybody love MJ. As a fan, as somebody who just love, like creativity, competition.
Especially in the way that you play the game, you could impact the game on both ends of the floor. And I'm sure you always felt like there was time for you to flip the switch and get things back under control.
One similarity, I guess there are many, but one that strikes me between you and Michael Jordan, Larry, is that killer instinct, totally ruthless on the court. You had that, and Michael does too.
Well, that's awful nice, Bob, comparing me to Michael Jordan. Probably the greatest player in the game right now. I can tell you some things that happened in the games against us. One time I turned, I jumped, and he still went. His knees almost hit me in the chin. And that's when I realized that this guy's pretty special for his jumping ability, but cat quick. He closed down a pass lane as fast as anybody ever seen, and just a phenomenal player. That type of player that can go to another level anytime he wants to. Michael was a great player, and I just tried to do the best I could against him.
As soon as he came into the league, he started leading the league in scoring.
Yeah.
So I knew he could do it. And James Worthy said, "Watch this guy. He's gonna be something." And he was absolutely right.
Are you better than Jordan?
I'm not better than him, but I was at least as effective as he was.
Was there anybody that you kind of avoided talking smack to because if you did,
Yeah.
your spirit got bigger and they wanted to beat you, or?
Michael Jordan. You don't want to mess with God. You gotta stay away from Mike.
I'm never going against Jordan, dog. I've never seen, I thought Michael Jordan was Jesus Christ, like playing to be Michael Jordan. I swear to God, dog.
We called him Black Jesus for a reason. I played against him a long time, and he just did it. He had all that. He just had the mentality to win. And if it gets close, he gonna take the shot.
That wasn't Michael Jordan out there. It was God disguised as Michael Jordan.
Rephrase that, I mean to cut you off. God in the basketball uniform.
After the game, Larry Bird would say, I didn't think anyone was capable of doing what Michael has done to us.
Nobody like him. Point blank. I never seen nobody play like he plays. And I mean, you can include all of them. It's hard to believe a guy score that many baskets and they lose. But I know we started Dennis Johnson out on him, and then we went with Danny Ainge, myself, which it was really easy then when I started guarding him. Then Bill Walton, and we was trying to run him to help all the time, but he had his outside shot going so well that he really didn't need to penetrate that much.
Shot, got it, 63 for Jordan.
I walked out on the court, and I looked at him, and for the first time in my life, a human being didn't look real to me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if y'all watch the Chappelle show, but he talk about a certain incident where he seen somebody seeing Rick James, and like I literally seen his aura, it looked like he was glowing, and I'm sitting there and I'm saying to myself, like, man, that's Mike.
We were playing the Chicago Bulls, and this is Michael Jordan's 3rd or 4th year in.
Okay.
And we were playing the next exhibition game in some obscure place. And most veterans do not like to play in exhibition games. They want to get to the real thing. I'm a wide-eyed, energetic rookie, and we're playing this exhibition game, and Michael's going through the motion. And Chuck Person, who's on my team, who's a trash talker as well, is like, can you believe Michael Jordan the guy everyone's talking about, who's supposed to be able to walk on water, you're out here killing him, Reg. This is in the first half. He's like, you should be talking to him. He's like, you're right, Michael. Who do you think you are? The great Michael Jordan? That's right. There's a new kid on town, right? Kind of looks at me and starts shaking his head. So at half, I have 10, and he has 4 points, right? And I'm doing all this talking. He's like, okay. Into the game in the second half, he ended up with 44. And I ended up with 12. So he outscored me 40-2. And as he's walking off, he's like, be sure and be careful, you never talk to Black Jesus like that. Okay, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Black Jesus. I'm so sorry.
Did you ever do it again?
Never to Michael Jordan. Never to Michael.
When I was a rookie, my very first game playing against Michael Jordan and the Bulls. Oh. And we had a guy named Greg Minor guarding him. And, it was a little dust up. Greg's playing hard. He's playing, of course, you got to play as hard as you can. It's MJ.
Right.
It's opening night. My mom at home watching, the kids watching, everybody watching. So they got in a little scuffle. MJ's going to the free throw line. And he looks at Greg and he says, I should make you take my shoes off. I looked down, I didn't even realize it. I looked down and he got the Jordans on. So I said, oh man, this is my first game ever. I said, this is what I got to look forward to.
You learned a valuable lesson though, right?
Well, obviously I didn't say much to MJ the rest of the night.
That's right.
I didn't want to be on that reel. So that was my welcome to the league
Trash
moment,
talking.
even though it wasn't to
Involving.
me, thank goodness.
So like, I tell you, like when I was in high school, and I used to work out with the 76ers. I used to ask him, what's it like to guard Mike? He go, Mike? You mean Black Jesus? I'm like, what the Black who? Oh, we call him Black Jesus. Or you can call him Black Cat. I'm like, I'm gonna call him fucking Mike. That's his fucking name. So the level of fear that he inspired in others was insane. Wow. And I would tell him, I said, when I face him, we're gonna go at it. He says, oh, you don't wanna do that. I'm like, what? Man, you don't know me, man. And so when we matched up, I think he understood that. And when I was 18, my first year, he got the best of me a bunch of times. I was right there the next play. You're not intimidating me, I'm not going anywhere. And I think he saw that level of respect, because I think he was the same way at 18 years old. And that common bond is what I think, where our connection was built.
How was it like playing against MJ your rookie year?
Shaking in my boots. First time. shaking in the first time I had to guard. I'm like, yo, man, first of all, let me go back. 1997, MJ them in the playoffs. I think they played against the Hawks, right? I'm at the game, playoff game. Bruh, I got an opportunity to go in the back by the locker room after the game. So I'm standing back there. I'm 17 years old, kid. I've never been around NBA players like this, or even, I've never been around somebody like MJ. So I'm standing back there, kid, and Pip comes out. All these players start coming out. Mike comes around that corner. Bruh, I ain't gonna lie to you. The man had a glow, bro. I swear, Mike, dog, that shit is real.
I believe it.
That shit is real.
Hey, KG said the same thing. You just feel his energy. He don't say shit. You feel that energy.
I'm not joking, bro.
Black
It's
Jesus,
real.
man, I'm telling you.
Mike came out, I was like, damn, bro. I ain't know what to say, man. I was like, that's MJ, dog. That's MJ.
I don't usually talk trash, but I had to that time. So I said, Michael, if you don't turn into Air Jordan, we gonna blow y'all out. Man, he started sweating.
It was hard.
That tongue went long. You know when that tongue come out?
It's over. It's a problem.
He about to do something. Boy, that dude came out that timeout. He scored about 4 straight threes. Ooh. And I went, oh man. Then he came down. I gotta show you this one.
Don't hurt yourself.
I won't hurt myself.
Okay.
So he stole the basketball. He coming down the right side. He takes off. David Robinson coming this way. So Mike just cuffed him. And he just looked at him.
In the air.
And he kept looking. He kept looking. He kept looking. He went all the way down, Jack. He did a 360. Ooh. Bam!
And ducked.
I said, that's it. That's it. It's over.
That's him.
It's over. And Larry Bird and I sitting down. So he come in with his cigar. Got his drink.
So how old is he right now? He's 26, 27?
Yeah, young.
Young
you know.
boy, yeah.
So I just want y'all to know. There's a new sheriff in town.
What is it about Michael Jordan that stood out to you as different?
I think it's the combination of everything. The unquestioned excellence, the objective greatness, but then the fact that he was so beautiful to watch. Magnetism and presence and star power. Michael Jordan had that to an 11 on a 10 scale. And even though people will mutter forever about Jerry Krause breaking up this team, I think it actually enhances Jordan's mystique and legend because we never saw him lose. The Wizards don't count. That's less than a foot. He walks away on top.
Michael was so dominant, not only on the court, but in the locker room. And so everybody felt more a sense of we're going to win because we have Michael. So there was a comfort level with his confidence and his dominance, his sort of king of the hill mentality. So you went into every game like, yeah, he's on our side. But you went into every practice like, I better not get on his bad side, and so it was an interesting combination. He raised the level of every practice so dramatically. Everything mattered to him. Every shooting drill, like he was so competitive. And we used to scrimmage a lot more back then than we do today. Most practice days we would scrimmage at some point, and those scrimmages were battles. He wasn't the easiest teammate to play with. In fact, he was probably the hardest teammate I've ever played with. But it was really productive because he was able to raise the level of our competitiveness, but also our confidence. Because every practice day almost felt harder than games, because you had to deal with him. And it was all on purpose. I think he expressed it pretty well in the Last Dance. That was all really accurate. And so it wasn't easy and it wasn't my style, but it was definitely effective and it was genuine to his personality.
So Jordan stands up in the room and he says, "You tell that boy Dan Marley, I got something for him tonight." And now I stood up, I couldn't hardly walk. I mean, literally, we had played the night before, traveled that day. I was stiff as a board. He would not, Scottie Pippen in the room, Horace Grant. I mean, we just playing this game called Tonk, okay? And we just going at it. And he looked at Tom and I, he said, "I'm gonna give your boy 40.
In an exhibition game?
Yeah, we like, who? Dan. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. Bet 100, bet 200. I took the bet. Tom took the bet. Oh no. So he starts the game and he just going nuts. I'm over there still stiff. I got heat packs under my clothes, man. I'm like, stiff. This man's out there going crazy. And Tom and I sitting there looking at him like, this dude is just insane. So he had about 34. He walks over to the bench and he catches the ball. He looks at Tom and I like, get that money ready. He catches the ball and Dan's guarding him. He reverse pivots on him, so Dan's got to backed up, and he went right, and he just tried to tear the rim down. Tongue wag, he went down like this, right, and holding up 400.
Michael Jordan is the best player ever. First time I met him, he was 40 years old. He was coming back with the Wizards. It was early in the morning, and I get a call from Tim Grover saying, MJ said you can meet him. So I go down there. I get there at about 7 in the morning. He's been there already for an hour. He was 40 years old. Like, he's been working out for an hour. So he's working out at 6 in the morning at 40 years old. He's coming back. So I think just his work ethic, it's no secret or surprise of how great he was, obviously, but his talent level, he was so driven. He was so competitive. To see him lose a game in the summer session, he would go sit in the corner by himself. Like, he was just unbelievably competitive, unbelievably driven, even in a setting like that.
That's what they say about Brady. He's like distraught.
Yeah.
Bad practice, distraught.
Yeah, that's MJ, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm lucky that, I think we all should be lucky we're even alive to see this guy play. Like, some kids now who are buying his shoes have never seen Michael Jordan play in person. Or they've seen some clips and things like that, but he had no flaws whatsoever. You couldn't say he couldn't dribble, or he couldn't shoot, he couldn't defend.
He didn't have great range. He wasn't a three-ball shooter.
But that goes back, he didn't have to be.
Yeah.
You know, his mid-range was so unbelievable, and getting to the rim, he could finish with either hand. He was so flashy, but he was also so fundamentally sound, so he had everything covered.
Michael, in my opinion, and Will played with him for so many years, he was just the ultimate competitor, man. And we were playing cards at my house one day in Charlotte. Here's another story. This is how big of a competitor he was, and Will knows this story too, right? So we're playing this game called Tom, and I'm beating him out of his money, all right? And I'm beating him, and this is about 11 o'clock at night. This guy does not go home until 7 o'clock in the morning until he wins all of his money back. 7.
And they had a game that day.
Yeah, they had a game that day. We played him that day, okay? And the thing is that most people will say, oh my God, Michael Jordan's over my house. Oh, I was ready for Michael Jordan to leave. I was like, dude, would you please go? Just leave, please. But he wouldn't until he won all of his money back. That's how psychotic of a competitor he is.
Michael Jordan was a scorer first, second, and third. He was a phenomenal finisher of the game. And what I mean by that is Michael Jordan stopped playing the game. He stopped having to facilitate. He didn't have to do all those things. He just finished the game. He finished it. He was, I think, the game's greatest finisher because he had no weakness in his game. When he played the game, especially in the fourth quarter, we refer to him as a three-dimensional player. He's either going to score, he's going to get fouled, or go to the free throw line and make the 2 free throws. And not many players can do that in the last 4 minutes of a game. Jordan was the best. He was just three-dimensional in every way, every phase of the game, especially coming down the stretch.
If I'm starting a team, it's Michael Jordan. Just for the simple side, and Smitty can attest to this, we had to guard him, 35 to 40 minutes a game. And he was the Shaq of shooting guards because there's no way you were going to move him off the post. He was cat quick, and on top of that, he was going to embarrass you in front of your family and friends. So having said all that, if I'm starting a franchise, not only do I want to put people in the seats, because Michael will do that, but his skill level was so far ahead of everyone else.
I think for me, it's MJ all day long, only because how I played against him, and MJ just had everything, mid-range to three-point, post-up game, and he could score and dominate in each position. MJ didn't have any other weaknesses in this game, and defensively, he was a two-way player. Defensively, he was incredible and just as dominant.
He's the greatest player, and Bill Russell is the greatest winner. Michael, no question, Michael is heads and shoulder above everybody else. He not only dominated on offense and defense, but he also dominated. There will never be a basketball player, and I don't know if there'll ever be another athlete that make as much money on the court and off the court as Michael Jordan.
What's really amazing about him is his attendance. I bring this out because he played 13 years. 1 year, 17 games because of baseball. The year he plays 18 because of a broken bone in his foot. Then he played 78 games 1 year. The other 10 years in cement, 82, 82, 82, 82, 8 times, and then 81 and 80. You could put him in there. Pain, injuries, flu, what have you. He could raise his game in the last 30 seconds. Let's see it blossom, and let's see him make his team a winner, because with the acceptance of Michael Jordan came the winning. The winning changed the world view of Michael Jordan. Winning gets it done.
Second round, we play Michael Jordan there.
Yeah.
That's when Nick Anderson stole the ball.
Yeah.
To this day, until I saw Last Dance, I did not know Nick Anderson said
he wasn't the thing.
45 is not 23.
Oh, Lord. I would have said, man, y'all, you don't shut the What is you doing? You don't get this man no feel.
Yeah. So, game 2, never forget. I say, always a Michael Jordan fan. Game 2, he comes out, keeps his top on, got his pants off, shorts on, and then they do the announcement.
Took that shit, had that 23 on.
They did the announcement. He say, wearing number 45, Michael Jordan. Yeah, crowd go crazy. We at home, but it sounds like we in Chicago because of him. Boy, both teams broke out of the huddles, coming to the court. That took out that damn thing. I saw 2-3. I said, oh, Lord, we in trouble. Superman's in the building, back cat, whatever you want to call him, Jesus. We in trouble tonight. So they end up winning game. They won game 2. The rest of the time, this was the crazy part. Every time he wore that number, they got fined $200,000 because, you got to have that.
Yeah,
you got to have
do all
the
that
number.
shit ahead of time.
Like January, you got to, this is what you got. So they got fined $200,000, which he's making that every time he play. Anyway, we beat him in, I think, game 3, or they beat us, I'm not for sure, but we ended up winning 4-2 on their court. All he kept thinking was Orlando. Man, they played us there was Shaq last time in Orlando. They played us, they swept us. I never forget this, and you can go back and look at the stat sheet, and they were just, they was Horace Grant. Horace couldn't do nothing, put his head down and just laugh. It was on the free throw line right in front of us. Jordan, Scotty was talking Boy, Jordan had 2 free throws at the end of the game. He hit the first one and missed the second one on purpose. And we was like, what the f*** you doing, you know? Somebody said, look at the scoreboard. He left 45 on the scoreboard. You know Jordan petty, you know? He left 45 for last year on the scoreboard. Go back and look at game 4, stat sheet. You can Google that. 45.
It sounds corny, but just greatness, just absolute greatness and brilliance from a basketball standpoint, from a competitive standpoint, from the opposition going against him. You can beat him up, you can hit him. It didn't matter. He just had everything that you want in a basketball player. And we had a Hall of Famer, as Jalen mentioned, in Reggie Miller, that we felt comfortable and confident that he could react and respond to everything that Michael presented, but he's the best to ever do it.
What's your best MJ story?
Oh, man. One of my favorite MJ stories is, since this is out there, we in Chicago. You know, it's my rookie year. The second half of the year, you know how you're not caught on now, right? Now you got your little 1-2 moves, you getting them off right now. You got some confidence, right? So I'm in that. I'm playing, right? But JR is having a good game. Shout out to JR Ryder, right?
Easy Riders.
So what happened was, we're in Chicago, and I had played against Mike 3 times head up. So KG had never seen me play against Mike.
Yeah.
So we're in the game, and I got about 24 going into the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Mike got about 18, 19. We come out of the fourth quarter, KG like, man, keep going at his ass. Serve him. He can't guard you. He can't da-da-da with you. He can't mess with you. Yeah. I'm like, man, chill. It's like, what? I was like, he's standing right here, buddy. and KG was like,
right here. Mike can hear me. I don't really give a so I'm like, so I double back like, yeah, man, keep killing that yo. You killing that. So as I say that, I feel it. Hands on hips, legs locked. Then look, the nigga stabbed me for about 15 seconds.
I was like, Mike, he don't know the rules of the game, man. He just a young buck. You know what I mean? Mike was like, okay, he talking? You know what I mean? I said, man, he don't know the rules of the game. Yeah. And Mike looked at him again like, okay. Looked at me like, okay. I said, what you looking at me like that for, right?
I see him and Mike having a conversation. So he's like, he don't really know, he excited, whatever. So now MJ on the back leg joint, you know.
Leaning on you. Is that right?
Okay, yeah, huh? I can't even really describe the next like 6 to 7 minutes of play, yo.
Went to the fourth quarter, man. That man got about 17 quick.
In this next 6 to 7 minutes of play, y'all, we get 2, not 1, 2 10-second calls. You know, when you bring the ball up, you got to go half court. 2 10-second calls. We down 25 now. It was just at 2. Mike had 18. He had like 40 now. JR, myself, we ain't scored in like about 4 minutes. It got bad quick, yo. I come to the joint, and they know this. When you come and you've been on the run, when you not got back on the floor, got back, had to rebound, and you feel like you on defense all the time, you come to the bench like this. So I was like, JR, man, my bad, dog. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
I said, look, I gotta guard that man, not you.
And Mike came down. Okay, young fella. Okay, damn, young fella. Damn, y'all done? Damn, young fella. Never talk shit to Mike ever again in life.
Michael Jordan was the most complete basketball player that's ever lived. Complete. Like Kareem was just as effective. Certain people could be, LeBron at times could be just as effective. But the most complete basketball player that ever lived is Michael Jordan. Completeness.
Preach.
So like his ability to do every aspect of basketball at the highest level. And I think that came from going to college. Because in college, what happens is the best coaches are in college basketball because there's more. The best ones are there. So they design defenses and offenses that are different from the NBA. NBA is just strict man-to-man, but your philosophies and thought process is from a totality of all of those defenses. So now the game is easier for you and you're much more easy. What I always say about Michael, what's different between even the great Kobe Bryant and great LeBron James is he was still the most fundamental basketball player. That was Michael. He was the best athlete and the most fundamental because he went to college for 3 years and developed certain things, you know? Michael Jordan, those 3 years in college, imagine he only went 1 year. Oh my God, or none. Michael Jordan, most complete basketball player.
What was it like first time you met Jordan?
First time I met Michael Jordan, it was a scene out of a movie. I was at my draft party in Chicago. And I'm in the party and I'm dancing. My cousin comes and taps me on the shoulder and say, hey, they won't let Michael Jordan in. He's outside. And I'm like, then I'm like, stop playing with me. And he was like, no. His look on his face. And so we took off. We ran. And so I run outside, bust through the doors, and Michael Jordan is sitting outside on a motorcycle with with about 30 or 40 dudes behind him. And it's like a scene out of a movie. And I'm walking closer and closer. And I'm like, this is my idol. Like, this is Jordan. And he stopped by and he said he just wanted to show me some love. You know, I just got drafted. I'm from the city. He just wanted to show me some love.
Did you invite him in?
I did, but he was like, no. They already denied me once. Like,
I had declared myself coming out of high school, right? And Bulls was in the playoffs. I think it was 1997. They were in the playoffs playing against the Hawks. So I went to the playoff game in Atlanta and watched the game. MJ just put on a show, him and Scotty. My coaches that took me got passes to take me in the back. So I'm back by the locker room. 17 years old, guys.
Yes, I can't imagine that.
Guys, I'm standing by the locker room. You know, guys start coming out. Scotty comes out. You know, I talked to Scotty. You know, I like Scotty, so I talked to Scotty for a bit. And sitting there, MJ walks out. Man, listen, that dude was glowing, bro. I am not joking. When I seen Mike come out of that damn locker room, he was glowing. I'm not exaggerating. I saw his physical appearance, and it had a glow around him. And I'm looking at Mike, and my mouth is wide open. I don't know what to say to him. I'm just looking like, oh my God, it's real. He's real. Dog, he is glowing. I was so stunned, man. 17 years old, my first time ever meeting Mike and ever being like starstruck like that. I was like, oh my God, you can take me now.
So I had a chance to see Jordan when I was at Kansas. They played an exhibition game at Kansas.
Exhibition or preseason?
A preseason.
Okay.
Preseason game at Kansas versus the Sonics. So he came up in this suit, I swear. It was like looking into this light, dead into this light when he walked in the room. And you couldn't he was just glowing, like Bruce Leroy. Like, it was like, damn, that's Mike right there. I'm in college too. So I had a chance to shake his hand and take a picture with him. But I don't know if I ever met another person like that in my life or seen that. I can't even think of no other superstar, whether it's sports or actor, to where I saw them and was just like mesmerizing to just see them in
Hands big as hell.
I'm hovering in the air.
One of my most memorable stories about Chicago that I can remember. It was 97, we was in Minnesota, and Flip had switched and put me on Michael Jordan, one of the greatest to probably ever touch a ball. And we was on the right side of the court, and I counted his dribbles. I was able to catch his dribbles, you know? 1, 2, come back, cross over. He crossed it back over, 1, 2. When he crossed it back over, I stole it. Give me this. He looked at me, I gave it to him. The very next play down, we go down, score. The very next play, they call it the very next play. This is no sauce. I counted the dribbles. 1, 2, come across. When I blinked, he was gone. I turned around, he was dunking the ball, giving somebody dapping halfway down the court. That fast. That's not new. Michael Jordan wasn't human.
You know, I'm growing up and I'm watching, this guy, Michael Jordan. I think all you guys know him, I think. So I'm growing up watching this guy on TV every day, and I'm like, wow, he's an amazing basketball player. Hopefully someday I get an opportunity to meet him. So I think it was my junior year in high school. I go up to Chicago and I go to a gym called Hoops where he plays basketball in the summertime. And I didn't know he was going to be there. He was walking on air. I had to pinch myself. Is that Michael? Who? And he was like Black Jesus to me. Like I was like, are you finally here?
I remember the first time I played against him, and I walked out on the court and I looked at him, and for the first time in my life, a human being didn't look real to me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if y'all watch the Chappelle show, but he talk about a certain incident where he seen somebody seen Rick James. And like, I literally seen his aura. It looked like he was glowing. And I'm sitting there and I'm saying to myself, like, man, that's Mike. And I'm looking at him. I can't stop looking at him. Like, I'm looking at his shoes and I'm like, man, he got on the Jordan. It was Mike. It was my idol, it was my hero. And I remember just hating the Knicks so much and the bad boys for beating them up the way they did. I used to watch him and sit on my mom's dresser. And she used to tell me, boy, if you don't get back from that TV before you go blind, you better. Like, I wanted to be that close to him just watching him.
He was coming off a bus, and I had hurt my ankle 2 games prior or something. And he gets off the bus, and he says, B, what's up? I said, what's up, MJ? He said, I heard you ain't playing tonight. I said, nah. He said, what's wrong? I said, my ankle. He said, damn, who gonna guard me? I said, Anthony Peeler. He said, that rookie? 50. This was actually 50. I said, you gonna give him 50? He said, I was gonna give you 50, but now it's him.
I'm gonna pass it down.
He said, I'm gonna give him 50 then. I was like, damn. So I come to the arena and I said, Anthony, let me just give you some advice on playing MJ. I said, first of all, don't be all physical like you always trying to be and rough with a guy because he gonna take that shit personal. I said, give him space, make him shoot jump shots all night and challenge him. I said, and if they go in, just, that's the bottom line. But if you get up on him, now he getting to the bucket, he getting to the free throw line. I said, he already said he getting 50. Yeah, I got him, B. I said, oh, okay. So every time MJ scored, he looked over at the bench at me because I was just sitting there like this. Right? He had 54. And missed the wide open dunk. Had a breakaway dunk.
Bam, that was the win all the way back to half court. Yeah, I remember that game.
And he did it like it wasn't nothing. Looked at me every time I said,
nasty.
The dude was a man playing against boys damn near. I mean, he was one of those guys, I didn't fear anybody, but when I played against him, I said, I ain't pissing him off. You know what I mean, Jay?
That's how I was with Kobe.
Yeah, that's the only guy I would look at and say, I ain't gonna piss him off. He hit a shot, be good shot. Good shot, MJ. I said, I ain't pissing him off because I've seen him go for 40, 50 like it ain't nothing because the guys being aggressive or trying to be overly physical with him. I said, I ain't pissing him off. Everybody else, I don't give a shit. But him, Black Jesus, I ain't messing with him like that.
But when I read it in the newspaper, I said, this can't be. You're meeting Michael Jordan for the first time?
Can you imagine that? It is amazing because the man's been playing now for 11 years, been out there for 12 years. But socially, we just never had a chance to really meet. And I've only seen very few games since I've retired. Well, live, I watch tons and tons of games every day and night by satellite and on my TV thing. So not surprising, I was always looking forward to watching him play one time, and I'm still waiting for my first time to truly watch him play. I watched him in the All-Star game, but that's something different.
First quarter was probably just to get some of the flu out, but as the game go along, and you're a great player such as Mike, you're gonna find a way to get it done. And that second quarter, he caught fire.
First time I met Michael Jordan, I was like, I've never seen anything like that before. I mean, it was amazing. I was in the Olympic trials, and I probably should have made the team. Bobby Knight just didn't like me. We invited like 120 players to trial for the Olympic team. So I made it to the final 20. Driving to the airport, it was me, Karl Malone, John Stockton, and Terry Porter. And I went back to my college, and John Thompson called my coach, and he said, Sonny, I just want you to know that Charles was the second best player here. He probably should have made it to the Olympic team, but Bobby just didn't like him. He didn't have a reason, he just didn't like him. So he hangs up the phone and he says, Charles, I thought you were the best player in the country. Well, I said, I'm not. I said, Coach, let me tell you something. There's this black dude from North Carolina. I ain't never seen nothing like it. And at this time, we're like sophomores in college.
Wow.
He is a little taller than me. He's really lanky. He's really black, but he can outrun everybody. He can outjump everybody. And I never seen anything like it in my life. He says, what's his name? I said, Michael Jordan. I said, we hit it off really good. For some reason, we like each other. I think that we both small town guys. But I was killing these dudes. He was killing these dudes. But yeah, Coach, I wasn't the best player there. That black cat from North Carolina is the best I've ever seen. And like I say, at this point, he's just a sophomore in college at that time.
When you look at the 80s and I look at Jordan, when he walked in, it was like, damn.
Is he for real?
Okay, I remember when we first played against him, it was the Olympic team in 84 in Phoenix. And they was doing the pros coming to play against the Olympic team. And I remember Coach Knight said, Coach Knight was coaching him, he said, this one a little different now. That's what the old school coaches, this one a little different now. And so, in Phoenix, it was hot in the summer, and you watch guys dunking and everything, but he had a different kind of bounce, jumping and dunking, and I was like, okay, all right, that's kind of nice. And then the game started, and this dude was so fast and so quick. He was like, wait. Some curse words are necessary.
Man, I never.